Hello, I'm Kristina Hoeppner, work for Catalyst, and I'm very delighted to be able to present to you today at the Eportfolio forum, even though I'm not able to attend in person. The topic of my 2020 presentation is cookie cutter portfolios. So without further ado, let's get started. When we think of portfolios, a portfolio that was created from a template isn't necessarily the type of portfolios that we think of first. Rather, it may be shunned or even regarded as second-class citizen because all portfolios that are created look alike, right? Well, let's take a look and see if there are any hidden qualities. Portfolios serve many different purposes, and they allow different activities to be undertaken by learners, no matter whether they are in formal education settings such as school or university, or work towards keeping up their registration in their workplace. So I like to think of portfolios as a showcase of learning with beautiful, diverse content that illustrates what a learner has achieved, but also how they got to that achievement. That does not mean perfect evidence or shiny results, but content that shows progression, achievements, and at times even the sweat that got into the end result. But we don't live in a world where learners create portfolios to simply showcase learning. Often they need portfolios for accreditation, certification, recertification, and assessment purposes. That means that learners need to follow certain guidelines or rules and include prescribed evidence in order to fill the minimum requirements. So if we leave the learners on their own to do that, they may get frustrated because they may not know where to start, what and how much evidence to collect, and how to present it in order to meet the requirements, at least at minimum. Since a lot depends for them on collecting and presenting their evidence, they want to get it right. Like with any other activity, therefore, that is set by a lecturer or requirements specified by an accreditation board, portfolio authors should be scaffolded in their portfolio activities. We can't just assume that they know what to do and how to do it. Helping to interpret the minimum requirements to the screen is a first step for them. But a template, don't be mistaken, that is created to give learners a good start into their portfolio work is not a stamp. We don't want to see identical portfolios that lack personality and individuality. While some components may be standard, there should be room for self-expression. It is also not a paint-by-numbers activity, where learners only fill in the blanks mindlessly according to a prescribed pattern, and then end up with artwork that looks fantastic, but actually, again, lacks individuality, because somebody else's paint-by-numbers sheet looks pretty much the same. I instead see portfolio templates as an invitation to become creative, while still adhering to parameters that have been provided by an institution for whom the portfolio is created. The template is the basis upon which learners can build and bring in their own personality. In the following, I'm going to show a number of portfolio templates that have all been created with Mahara. They illustrate how different templates can look, and that even templates created for the same purpose differ from institution to institution. There are many different ways to setting up and working with templates, and thus it's only a small selection. This template here was created for nurses of Namanukura o Apopo, the Māori Nursing and Midwifery program in New Zealand. This and other templates assist nurses with their registration. The template helps busy nurses to complete their registration faster than on paper and still leave room to choose what and how they want to present it. This one here is created for students of Te Rito Marioa Early Childhood New Zealand, where since this academic year, students are required to keep a portfolio. The leading questions in this template help students reflect on their teaching and learning in a structured way that will help them later on to continue that process and get into the habit of reflecting. Marlborough Girls College in Nelson uses templates for its teacher registration. Instead of every teacher setting up their own, the school provides a template to make it faster for teachers to get started with the actual reflections and also provide guidance for them on how to prepare and fill in the criteria. So when it comes down to the actual criteria, the school again provides the general information that all teachers need to know and need to adhere to make it easy for them to collect their evidence. Ideas for good evidence are also provided as are placeholders so that teachers know what and where to put things in. Te Kowhai School near Hamilton in New Zealand also works with templates for teacher registration, but its template looks different from Marlborough Girls College. Te Kowhai School, more so than other schools that I'm aware of, reviewed the general RTC and interpreted them within their school context. So instead of just having the general RTC available, teachers see the modified ones in their portfolio directly and use these as guidelines for their reflections. The school also did not only work with text, but also provided initial imagery for the teachers showing some of the portfolio capabilities. Here you can see now part of a student's portfolio that was created for employability purposes. The student organized his portfolio well into pages within a collection, has a clear structure, and the sections for each pages were provided to him so he knew what to include in his portfolio. Now compare this portfolio to this one here. You see a very different portfolio with lots more graphics and different text. The components of the portfolio are still roughly the same, however this student interpreted them differently. Both portfolios show the personalities of their respective students in their own ways, and even though they started with the same components. So while templates provide a structure and also scaffold to get learners started in their portfolio activity, using templates doesn't mean that we get identical results. Every portfolio can look slightly or very different, and I would welcome institutions embracing these differences to get to know their students. Templates for me are just a first step in creating awesome portfolios by students and giving them something to hold on to, but with time let go and make their own. They are not assembly lines to produce identical products, nor are they cheap versions to get portfolio work over and done with as quickly as possible. Rather, it's a step into creativity. Thank you.